I love to give presents and I love Christmas because I love to give presents. I love shopping for presents. I love picking them out. I love thinking about like looking for them. I love wrapping presents. I love giving presents. It is one of my favorite things. So I love Christmas because you get to do that like on a giant scale and it's just so fun. One of my favorite things is actually Secret Santa, and I have gotten some pretty good reviews from my Secret Santas of the past. I actually one time walked in on 2 of my previous Secret Santas. It was like one that had me that year and one that had me a few years before, talking about how I was a really good Secret Santa. So because of that, and because I know that this can be a difficult thing if you are unsure of what to get someone, so I thought let's talk about ideas for Secret Santa that have gone well, either that I have received or that I've given, that I have thought have been really great and that have done really well for Secret Santa. And yeah, so hopefully some of these ideas will be helpful. A lot of them are fairly open-ended, so there's kind of a lot of different options that you can go with, but we'll do our best. I will also link some of the options down below. I won't have everything available because again, some of it's really open-ended. But all that to say, let's talk Secret Santa. So first of all, what is Secret Santa? Typically Secret Santa is when you like put everybody's names in a hat and you pull out a name and that's the person that you purchase presents for. Depending on who you're doing with this with, it might just be like one present or it might be a variety. So I've done it different ways in the past, but my current like school is where I'm doing this. My current school does it for a week, and so you have 4 days where you give little presents and then a bigger present on Friday. Typically you'll have a minimum or a maximum to spend, so make sure that you are aware of those so that you can stay within those budgets. Overall, it tends to be pretty good. So we'll have a couple things that are on the smaller end and some things that are on that bigger end. For us, I think it's supposed to be like $5 to $10-ish on the first 4 days, and then the last day it said $20 minimum. So I don't know what the maximum is or what's typically done, but that is what it said. So before we dive in, I would like to give the general disclaimer of if you do work at my school and you're doing Secret Santa, please click out of this video because you might be I might be your Secret Santa, and so I don't want to spoil anything. So this is your fair warning. If you know me, click out of the video, but the chances that that person knows I have a YouTube channel, knows that I have this YouTube channel, which is smaller than my main one, and that is also watching this video, seem pretty slim. So I think we'll probably be covered. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I just want to say a blanket. If your Secret Santa filled out like a questionnaire, like they should have, go with the things on the list, because if they put it on the list, they actually like it, and you want to make sure that those are like the top priorities. I always try to get some stuff off of the list, whether that's a favorite candy or a favorite drink or whatever, but I also like to give some other things in conjunction with that. So if there's something they ask for specifically, get that. If not, then here are some options for you. Okay, the first one is Festive Holiday wearables. Now, I wouldn't suggest going like buying someone a costume, but holiday wearables like a scarf. I got a scarf one year for my Secret Santa. That was really fun. Things like holiday socks always go over really well, and then you don't have to like, you know, guess sizes. These are my socks, not going to my Secret Santa, but like they're Santa socks. Or like I'm wearing like a little cute little headband, or like reindeer antlers, or those kind of things are really fun, like festive things that are one size fits all and can be really fun, especially if you're doing dress up days. So I've done this many years where I look and see what the dress up days are for like that time, and I'll give someone something a few days ahead of time. So if we're doing like a holiday sock day, then I'll give them holiday socks a few days before so that they have that option for when it's holiday sock day. This can be really great because they may not have anything to wear for those dress up days, and so it's really nice. And even if it's not a dress up day, like it's just fun to have like holiday socks, holiday tie, holiday scarves, like those kind of things, and they're really fun. They're usually really cheap on Amazon or at Marshall's or those kind of places, so you can check those out, and it's always been a pretty big hit. So holiday wearables, number one. Number two is ornaments. Now obviously these assume that people celebrate Christmas, but it is Secret Santa, so just be aware of what people celebrate. But the second one would be ornaments, and not just any ornament, but something that's a little more personal. So you could do ornaments that are actually like personalized, that have their name on them. You can buy ornaments with their names on them. You could do like initial ornaments are great because then they're pretty easy to find, but just having like their initials just make it seem like much more special. Or you could also make some ornaments. So I'm actually planning to make some ornaments for my Secret Santa this year that have her name and her husband's name on them, and just like as a fun little thing. But personalized ornaments are really special because they just, I mean, they're personalized. So like they're more special because they are specific to you. So having that can be really great. If you don't want to go the personalized route or like names, then go with like things that they are, you know, things that they like. So like I'm a music teacher, so a music themed ornament would be great. I love gingerbread cookies, so a gingerbread themed ornament would be great. Those kind of things, just like kind of thinking about them and who they are and what they would be interested in, just makes it seem like you really put a little bit of effort. I will also say, if you need help with this, find that person's friends and talk to them, because they can usually give you some extra ideas as well. So we have festive holiday wearables and ornaments. Number 3 is some sort of beverage and some sort of cup that go together. So typically I've done this many different ways. I've done like a favorite soda and then like a tumbler, or a just different kind of, you know, that kind of stuff, like tumbler, water bottle, those kind of things. I've done favorite coffee or a Starbucks gift card and a little mug, either a travel mug or a actual mug. My Secret Santa this year is into tea, so I think I'm gonna get some tea and probably a travel mug, because I have seen her use travel mugs. I haven't decided quite yet because I still have a little bit of time. So I have like half of my gifts for her, but not all of them. That's usually a question on Secret Santa questionnaires, is like, what's your favorite drink? And so having that, it's like, oh, look, you saw that, and that's also consumable, so it's not going to take up like a whole bunch of space, because, you know, we don't want like junk gifts. But that is a really good one that has always gone over really well. So just some sort of drink and then a matching sort of cup. Again, if you want to personalize it, like there's lots of places you can get custom cups and tumblers and Stanley cups and all the things, depending on what your price point is. But that's always a hit with Secret Santa. The next one is pretty general, and that is blankets. Blankets always go over really well, and it's one of those things, like, you really can't have enough blankets, because if you have too many blankets, then you give one to the dog or you give one to somebody's kid. Like, they're just so useful and so helpful, and people use them all the time. They use them as decor, and they use them all sorts of things. So grab a blanket, preferably either a holiday themed or like their favorite color, and then you will just, you know, be all nice and cozy. I also like blankets because it's a larger gift that's not super expensive. You can usually find a $5, $10, $15 blanket that is pretty decent, and so it's a good way to get kind of more bang for your buck, like space wise. Next up is a door sign. This is especially great if someone has an office or is a teacher or something like that. This is actually from my craft room. It was hanging on the wall, so I grabbed it. I also apparently never took the price tag off of it, and it's been hanging on the wall for like 6 months. But having a door sign that has the initial of their name or their name on it is always great. This is something I actually have done every year I've had Secret Santa. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year for various reasons. But typically what I do is, you can obviously purchase ones like that, but you can also make them yourself. So typically what I do is I just grab the letter of their name, I paint it, and then like usually a color that matches their classroom, because I'm a teacher. And then I'll put their name on it. You can either paint it or you can write it with a Sharpie, like paint pen, or you can do like vinyl on it with their name or last name, you know, your choice. And then just like a big ribbon to hang it with, and it always goes over so well. I have gone into people's classrooms years after I was their Secret Santa, and they still had those signs hanging on their door or hanging behind their desk. Like, it always goes over really well, and it's not that hard. And if you are not great with a paint pen or a paintbrush, then you can just, you know, get the letter and then just paint it, and like that and by itself is just really sweet and really simple and really fun, and again, personalized and also not expensive. Next up is like fun office or classroom supplies. What I mean by this is stuff for like desk organization or file organization, or pens or pencils or those kind of things, but make it a little bit fun. So my Secret Santa said she really liked hedgehogs, and I was like, I got the perfect thing, because I have one of these. And it is a tape dispenser that's shaped like a hedgehog. Y'all, you can find tape dispensers shaped like everything. There's like cats, and there's ninjas and karate kids, like people do little figures doing karate. Like there is literally everything. So between a phone holder or a tape dispenser or like a post-it note dispenser, you can find those things in like any shape, any size, any color. So those are great things because it's very useful because it's tape, but it's cute and it's fun, and you want to display that on your desk because it's just adorable because it's shaped like a hedgehog and it's just so great. So, and those again, they're not super expensive. So highly recommend either a tape dispenser or a post-it note dispenser or a, you know, like those kind of things that are just like a fun style. You can find all sorts of really fun ones on Amazon. I bought this one off Amazon, but the one I found at Target, and I was like, that is the cutest thing, I have to have it. But you can, you know, Target, Amazon, Walmart, like whatever, you can find those. Marshalls, those places are all really great, so highly recommend. Along that same kind of vein, stationery is a great little thing that you can get. Grab some pens, grab some cute notebooks, and that, like, everyone will be happy with that, especially teachers. Clipboards are great, like those kind of things that are like cute and fun that maybe I wouldn't buy for myself. Well, I wouldn't because I love notebooks, but that maybe people wouldn't buy for themselves, but are fun and are usable, that they can use up every day. They're not just like, you know, collecting dust. Those things are always really great. If you have some time, my biggest hack would be to get personalized stationery. I personally love Erin Condren, which is a stationery brand, and they do personalized stuff. So this obviously is still my Halloween cover, but they have notebooks and planners that have interchangeable covers, so you can pull this off. And I have Christmas ones on the way, so they haven't arrived yet, but so that's why we still have little ghosties. But you can get them personalized with your name on them, and like they're just so fun. And anything with someone's name on them, again, it's personalized, and so it like literally makes it seem so much more special than just something that you got. You could also find, you know, notebooks with like someone's initial and things like that, but like a notebook and some pens, or a clipboard and some pens and some paper, like those kind of things would be great little gifts that people would love and people will use, which is always a hit. Also, I put post-its and expo markers on like every wish list ever. When someone's like, what do you need? I'm like, expo markers, post-its. I asked for them for Christmas. Literally, like my family gives me bags of post-it notes, and it's fabulous. So there's that. The next one is also going to be for a classroom or an office, and that is a candle that smells really good and a candle warmer. Or you could do like a wax melter or what are those called? Nebulizers? Is that what those called? The ones you put oil in, whatever. But having a candle and a candle warmer is really a great little gift because it makes your room smell really good, and the candle warmer makes it so that you can avoid having an open flame in a classroom, which you're probably not supposed to do. So having that, or like wall plug-ins, like those kind of things are just really great because it makes things smell nice, and it's just a really good ambiance. It's something you can use up. But having the addition of the candle warmer or the plug-in, like those kind of things, the wax melter, that really helps to make it even a little bit better, because now, you know, I don't have to light it, but you have that additional like safety aspect of it, and it just makes it feel a little bit more, it's just a little bit nicer than just like a candle. Anytime you can have like two things together or three things that all go together, it just seems more special. So if you, again, tea and a tea mug, like is gonna feel a lot more special than just one or the other. So look for things that can go together. That's gonna always do much better. I will link a candle warmer down below. They're really cheap, and you can get candles from like Marshalls, Home Goods, those kind of places for really inexpensive that smell really good. Plus then you get to go for a trip down the candle aisle, which is the best place to go. Next is a book. So if your person does read, then I would suggest figuring that out. But having like purchasing books can be one of the best gifts because it's something that people can use. It's something that's really fun, that they like, and it will take up some time and they will have a good time with it. So if they have a book they like, definitely grab that. My Secret Santa actually said they wanted like a particular book, so I bought that particular book. Based on that book, I picked one of my favorite books that I believe that she'll like because she likes that book, and it's kind of like on the same vein. So that way I have like, here's your favorite book and here's my favorite book, and that seems really special because it really looks like you put a lot of thought into it, which I did. If you don't know whether or not the person reads, or if you're concerned that they maybe won't and they won't like the book, then my suggestion is to get a fancy book. And so specifically like a nice looking book, because here's the thing, if you get like a paperback, they're gonna read it, they might stick it on a shelf. But if you get a fancy book, now even if I don't read it, it's now a decor piece. Okay. Also, it's hard to go wrong with the classics because even if people don't want to read them, you know, you feel fancy when you got Wuthering Heights sitting on your coffee table. I have read Wuthering Heights, by the way. I was going to reread it this year, but I did not get to it. So maybe next year. I was going to do it like October for like a spooky situation. So I have a ton of these. If you've seen my vlogs, you know we have them everywhere. These are just from Barnes and Noble. They are not expensive. They have some as low as like $15 and then some that are like more 25 or 30. I have like Wuthering Heights, I have all of the Jane Austen books, I have Sherlock Holmes is a really fun one, especially for a gentleman. And then I have classics, I have fairy tales and Arabian Nights and all those things. So those can be really fun little gifts because then you have like, not only can you read it, but it's also a decor piece. So it's just a little more special. If you're not sure what someone might like, just kind of think through like who they are. So if you know someone who's like into science, then you might want to get like a sciencey kind of book. If they're into Star Wars, they have fancy Star Wars books. If you have, you know, like detective books, if you're not sure, like you can just get those kind of things. You can always get a gift receipt if you're not sure because, you know, that always makes you feel better. But those are things that I have always done really well and they're a great thing to get people, and I always kind of keep my eye out for which ones are available. Another one that is a recent find that I'm not giving my Secret Santa, but I am giving many other people for Christmas, is the fancy board games. So this is a trend that I have seen recently, and they're like board games, but they're in fancy cases. So I've seen different ones, but the ones that I really like are the ones that look like books. And so it looks like a book, you can stick it on your bookshelf, but it's actually a board game. So I have at least 3 people on my gift list this year who are all receiving some of these books that are games. These are a little bit pricier, so I have found them at Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, those kind of places for about $25. For reference, a normal new board game is like $50, which is insane. But so like $25 for those. I have also seen them I bought one off Amazon that was like $40 because I wanted that specific one. I couldn't find it. So I've seen chess sets in these. I've seen Monopoly and Candyland and Clue and Scrabble and just all sorts of different games like that. And so those are really fun because they're are a little more special. Pretty much everyone likes board games because it's one of those things you just want to have in the house in case you have a house guest or something, or some kids that come over. Like they're really helpful. Teachers especially love board games because, you know, the kids, you can teach them to your kids and that's fun. So highly recommend like those kind of things. That's a good like special prize. It's a little more than just like, you know, my $5 days, but it is really fun and really special, and many people on my list are getting in this year. The last two are things I'm sure you've already thought about. So next one is just anything that's like snacks. We like snacks. Snacks can be cookies. I always love to make cookies to include with my gifts, so I will probably do that again this year. You know, it's so much more special when you make it. But if you're not into making it, that's fine too. You can buy cookies, you can buy Oreos, you can buy Cheez-Its, you can buy whatever their favorite things are. Like, go buy some snacks because everyone likes snacks. And if you don't like snacks, you don't feel as bad about throwing them away because they expire at some point. So like, you can throw them away. Like, a blanket's not going to expire, so if I don't like my blanket, then I'm stuck with it. Snacks are just always a great thing. I usually do a bag of snacks for one day of my Secret Santa. And lastly, I just want to say, people like gift cards. Some of my favorite Secret Santa gifts have been gift cards. So don't shy away from a gift card, especially, you know, I don't love giving like just a gift card, but if you can do like a gift card and some chocolates or something like that just makes it a little more fun and a little more, you know, like you get something, and then you get the added bonus of now you get to go shopping, which is great. So those are just a couple, like, you know, slide those in there because people like cookies and candy and snacks and gift cards. All right friends, so I hope that gives you a couple of ideas for your Secret Santas. I will link a few things down below. Not everything has like a specific thing that I can link down below, but I'll try my best to link as much as I can. And I would love to hear your Secret Santa suggestions down below in the comments, because when I post this, I will still have a little bit of time before my Secret Santa. I thought my Secret Santa was next week, and it turns out the week after that. So I was like, great, I have more time than I thought I did, which means it's gonna be great. My Secret Santa is not gonna know what hit her. It's gonna be fabulous. All right, y'all have fun. Happy holidays. Bye.